Greetings and salutations. This time it's me covering the Alchemy deck for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. There is a lot of these card decks for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This contains 110 cards. It MSRPs for $22.99. My stance on the price is that it feels to be exceedingly high. Say, like, one of these decks, 110 cards is 2 times a 52-card playing deck. A 52-card playing deck, you know, like poker, etc., etc., is like $4.99, $9.99. If you get, like, a really premium deck, it's like $14.99 or $19.99, unless it's, like, gold or silver inlaid, then it goes up higher than that. But anyways, my feeling is the price is really high for these cards. However, it is important to note that this is one of the few paths in which Paizo actually makes their money. All their core rules for their game systems are free on PF2 Easy, Archives and Ethos, Path Builder, Star Builder, etc. There's many free sources for their rules. So when it comes to these decks and the physical books, not everyone who plays Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Pathfinder 1st Edition, or Starfinder pays to play. A lot of people just use the rules off the free sites online. So it's understandable that in the case of the cards that are truly an accessory item, Sassy, cut it out. She just likes to play with her dish when it gets low. But anyways, the first card in this deck is the instructions card. It explains the difference between mutagens and bombs, elixirs, poisons, alchemical tools, etc. Then the next card in this deck is the OGL card. Then there is the Infused Reagents card, which explains the item in Infused Reagents. It gives you a nice piece of artwork on the backside. Every single one of these cards has artwork unique to it on the backside of the card. Please note that this is actually a good example right here, right now. In this deck, there are duplicate cards for you to hand out to multiple different people. So you have multiple copies of Acid Flask. So if you happen to have more than one Alchemist in the party, you have multiple Acid Flasks to hand out. You got alchemical firebombs, and there's at least 4 of each one. Alchemist Fire, Blight Bomb, Crystal Shards, and so much more. Overall, my official opinion on this Bottled Lightning, which is kind of neat, you know, lightning in a bottle, is that these cards are quite handy for a new game master with a new group who is entirely new to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That way, if I'm like sitting at a table and like I have a player who says, I'm going to play Alchemist, and like, oh, what did you pick? Oh, I got these items. Okay. You go to a store and you happen to see a new formula for sale in a book, and like, oh, I want to buy that, and it's like, oh, there you go, you got anti-plague now. So there you go. These cards are not just handy as your character finds a piece of paper on a desk. It happens to be a formula for Elixir of Life, which odds are most people will have that recipe because most people would pick that. It's one of those things that people will go for. But anyways, you got Bomber's Eye Elixir. So if you happen to have a bomber, and they happen to pick all bombs for their stuff, well, here's a mutagen for you. Here's a healing elixir of life for you. Because sometimes you get people who are like that, where they just like, I just happen to pick a mutagen, so all the stuff I chose is mutagens, even though I can still pick healing items out and bombs out as recipes. For some of my recipes, I just happen to choose to literally pick nothing but bombs, or nothing but healing items, or nothing but poisons, or nothing but this, or nothing but that. And you'll get people who will do that stuff, and you, as a game master, can obviously fix their problems by introducing them to cheap or free diversity options in their armament. That way, when they get into a serious situation, they at least have something to heal the party with. And that is actually one of the greatest strengths of the Alchemist, is that when you pick a subclass for the Alchemist, you are not locked out of any of their other skill sets for the Alchemist. You just simply get more of the more options for that subclass. And you get to do things for that subclass a little more efficiently than you could for the other subclasses. So you can still heal as a bomber. You can still poison as a bomber. You can still use mutagens as a bomber. You can still use, you can still poison as a healer, corrosion, or you can still poison as a bomber. You can still do all the other stuff. It's just that happens to be the thing you get the most stuff for. So I do say that this deck, if it wasn't for the really high price for the cards, this would be a solid 4-star, but it's like a 3.75 star item. This specifically is strongly leaned towards Alchemists, and until Paizo releases the Player Core 2 Rulebook for the Pathfinder, from the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remaster Project, sometime in early 2024, the Alchemist items are basically tied to a class as that most people have a hard time playing. Yet again, I have to remind people, the Alchemist is a utility class. It is a jack of all trades class. The Barbarian can't really be really good at proccing elemental damages or all kinds of stuff, or healing. Same thing with rangers or fighters or even wizards. But the Alchemist is capable of buffing themselves up to be a Hulk. They are capable of poisoning stuff. They can drop fire damage or various other elemental damages, plus etc., as such as a thunder, sonic, or electrical, or various other things, ice damage. And they can then turn around and heal someone, and then they can turn around and Hulk out and start bashing stuff in. They can adjust themselves to all kinds of situations. They are the universal utility class of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's just a lot of people have a difficult time in not having like the thing that they're super awesome at. Also, a lot of people consider Alchemists to be weak because perspective is, based on history, and the older version of Alchemist from Pathfinder 1st Edition at level 1 could punch a barbarian to death. All it took was a little bit of research based on my research, and the Pathfinder 1st Edition Alchemist could out-tank a barbarian, do all kinds of ridiculous things. It was just simply a matter of you finding the right mutagens to stack enough buffs on yourself, and you could just run up to just about any fight in low level, roughly in your range of levels, tank everything, and then beat the snot out of everything, and just do it all by yourself. So when you had a precursor version of the class in an older edition that was completely broken in ridiculous OP fashion, and then the new version is just decent at everything, yeah, the new version does definitely look like it's a really weak class in comparison. So there you go. I placed this around the 3.75 stars. If it was a bit cheaper, if you find it cheaper than the $22.99 or $23, it definitely becomes a better value in itself from there. Maybe this score will increase depending on how they buff up the Alchemist in the Pathfinder Remaster project. In that case, if the Alchemist becomes a stronger class, this becomes a better value. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, magnificent month, and see you next time. Ciao.